So ever since Triple H took over WWE in July, there was quite a lot of people who were pushed in that time frame because of Triple H. I'll go over 5 of them that came to mind, and these aren't in any particular order, it's just the first 5 to come to mind. So first off, we have LA Knight. LA Knight debuted on the main roster on May 20 and had a segment on SmackDown with Adam Pearce. This was a completely different gimmick from LA Knight. His name was now Max Dupree, and now he wears suits and ties and he doesn't wrestle. He would get into Adam Pearce's face and tell him all about his maximum male models every single week. This meant that we're gonna see a debut of a new faction. We quickly saw the new faction, but we realized that it was a comedy act, and LA Knight was now a leader of the Maximum Male Models organization. And later on, he brought his sister to join the faction after a few weeks, but thankfully LA Knight left the faction, and honestly, I don't know why Vince McMahon would ever change a really good charismatic person into some comedy act. But then again, it's Vince McMahon. He loves turning in good talent into a joke. So after Vince left and Triple H came into the picture, he switched the gimmicks up as soon as possible for the better. And I mean, LA Knight is just so much. He has so much charisma. He has good mic skills. He's a good wrestler. He's the full package. So I mean, if you can't really waste talent like LA Knight, I think we can all see that LA Knight has a good future ahead of him, and he's good in Triple H's hands. Another NXT star that Triple H also was a daddy to was Ricochet. Ricochet was once the Intercontinental Champion around WrestleMania time, and he kind of had a lackluster run. It was very unforgettable, and he didn't get a chance to defend it at WrestleMania. And ever since he lost the title to Gunther, from May to August, Ricochet was just there. I would say he didn't have many good rivalries or matches, or just randomly appeared, and basically he had nothing going. The man was basically taking a bunch of losses, and he was kind of treated like a job. See, I know that Vince doesn't really like smaller wrestlers, but Ricochet is the type of guy that can have a 5-star match if he's told to. Now, when Triple H stepped in, he didn't put Ricochet in too much of a high pressure situation or a big feud, but he also didn't want to send Ricochet down our throat. So now Ricochet is basically getting more screen time consistently, and he's treated as a good mid cutter, and we are gonna have, and he has been putting on better matches. I mean, he already had a great match. Gunther, Baron Corbin, LA Knight, and Carmelo Hayes. I mean, this man can wrestle his ass off, and it finally feels good that this guy is not getting wasted. Another person that got wasted when she got called up to the main roster was Shayna Baszler. Shayna was probably one of the biggest stars in NXT. Got to the main roster, she was probably one of the jobbers ever. She never got a lot of screen time or time to improve in the ring. She was a great wrestler in NXT, but we all know what happens to NXT guys when they get called up. So Shayna had one pay-per-view match in Triple H's era, better than the 0 she had in the past 9 months. But you know, for the past few weeks, she aligned herself with Ronda Rousey, which is great. Ronda is kind of mentored Shayna now, which is great. Ronda is like basically unleashing the roughness, the toughness of Shayna Baszler that she had back in NXT, and it's great to see that she's getting more screen time, and honestly, that's all you need to be successful sometimes. But I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think Ronda Rousey is gonna turn on Shayna? I mean, I feel like if they did have a feud, that'd be big, you know, MMA guys going up about it. But another person that you probably didn't expect to be on this list was Gunther. See, Gunther was already a force to be reckoned with since he got called up to the main roster, but there were reports to make Gunther into a comedy guy, and Vince McMahon basically didn't have any plans. It was kind of like, who had the idea to make Gunther into a joke? Like, you have to be high out of your mind. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now, and he's holding the IC title, which is great. Everything that he did with the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus was just very good. All of that made Gunther into a big star and a dominant champion. And you know, the more I see a Gunther on my team, more warm and fuzzy I feel in my tum-tum. Thank Simon for that one. But anyways, Triple H has really made Gunther into a top guy while also making the Intercontinental Championship look like a world title. Now, I could see something like Roman Reigns with Gunther down the line, which would be a dream match. But honestly, any person versus Gunther is a dream match, to be honest. But the final person that got kind of saved by Triple H was Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor wasn't really too great of a start since he came back for his second run on the main roster, but ever since he joined the Judgment Day, or became leader at least, he's been absolutely great. Now, Vince McMahon was in charge when Finn Balor joined the group, but Triple H really made Finn into a star. The I Quit match with Edge was absolutely good wrestling and storytelling. It made Finn Balor a monstrous heel and making the entire Judgment Day look good. Now, and a few months before that, Finn Balor was actually the United States champion, if you guys remember that. But it didn't last long, and I kind of forgot that he was champion this year, so it kind of take that information as you will. But Finn Balor is now fitting with AJ Styles and the OC, which great. You might get to see Finn Balor vs AJ at Survivor Series, which we are going to see that match. Now it's completely different because there's a new wrestling poppy in charge. Yeah, these are the 5 people that came to mind for me that have a way better time than Triple H. H's era rather than Vince's. If you guys have anyone else that is doing better in Triple H's era, please comment down below, and I'll see you guys